Do you want to know how to stop your background track from completely swallowing your voice? Let me show you. While Photoshop handles your photos and Illustrator creates your graphics, InDesign is the heavyweight champion for organizing multi-page documents. Whether you are laying out a massive portfolio, a print book, or a quick digital PDF, it gives you absolute pixel-perfect control over your typography and grids. Now, listen to how clean, balanced, and professional this sounds instead. While Photoshop handles your photos and Illustrator creates your graphics, InDesign is the heavyweight champion for organizing multi-page documents. Whether you are laying out a massive portfolio, a print book, or a quick digital PDF, it gives you absolute pixel-perfect control over your typography and grids. If you're tired of your voice getting buried or your music sounding crushed, you are in the right place. Have you ever put together a video, poured your heart into the edit, and then realized your background track is fighting your vocals every step of the way? It is honestly so frustrating. You turn the music down, but then the video loses its energy and feels empty. You try turning it back up, and your voice just vanishes again. It feels like you are constantly fighting your own timeline. Right now, I have got my voiceover and my background music nearly laid out on my Premiere Pro timeline. And we are going to polish this up like a pro. Today, we are fixing this audio clash once and for all. No more crushing your music into the dirt, and no more awkward volume dipping every single time you speak. We are going to shape the frequencies so your voice and your music actually make space for each other. It feels like a less compromise and more like a magic when it finally clicks. Let us dive right into Adobe Premiere Pro and get your sound setting just right. Frequency map breakdown. Now, let's talk about the parametric equalizer. When you look at the EQ graph, it spans across the entire audio frequency spectrum from left to right. Imagine dividing that graph into distinct sections like this. The low end, 20 Hz to 250 Hz. This is where your heavy kick drums, bass lines, and that muddy boxy voice rumble live. The low mids, 250 Hz to 500 Hz. This zone handles the body of many instruments, but can easily sound muddy if it gets too crowded. The mids, 500 Hz to 2 kHz. This is where your most musical instruments like guitars and synths sit, and it can easily clash with your voiceover dialogue. The upper mids and highs, 2 kHz to 20 kHz. This is where the crispiness of your voice, vocal clarity, hi-hats, and air live. By dropping a note in that middle section on your music track and gently carving out a dip, you create a custom pocket where your voice can cut right through without clashing with the instruments. Step number 1. Carving space with Parametric EQ. Before we touch anything, take a quick listen to how the raw voiceover and music clash right now when they fight for exact same sonic space. While Photoshop handles your photos and Illustrator creates your graphics, InDesign is the heavyweight champion for organizing multi-page documents. Whether you are laying out a massive portfolio, a print book, or a quick digital PDF, it gives you absolute pixel-perfect control over your typography and grids. If you want to stop guessing your designs and start building professional layouts, hit subscribe because a full step-by-step masterclass is dropping soon. Notice how muddy and buried everything feels. That is why this step matters so much. Instead of just lowering the volume slider like everyone else does, we are going to use science and sound design to carve out a custom lane for your voice, starting directly with our background music. Head over to the Effects panel in Premiere Pro. Search for Parametric Equalizer and drag it directly onto your background music clip. Open up the Effects Control panel, find your Parametric Equalizer, and click Edit next to Custom Setup to open up the Clip Effects Editor window. When you open up the Clip Effects Editor, you will see a graphical frequency spectrum display with numbered notes from 1 to 5, plus low and high notes. If you look at the bottom control panel, you can see the exact numerical values for frequency, gain, and Q width for each active band. Music and human voices actually fight for the exact same space in the mid-range. To fix this, look at the band 4 or band 3, where the mid-frequencies live. You can either click and drag note 4 directly down on the graph grid to pull down the amplitude, or click into the numerical value box under band 4 and type in your target frequency. Around 2941 Hz or anywhere in that 1 kHz to 3 kHz sweet spot where the human voice lives and breathes. Set the gain value for the band to gently pull the frequency range down by about -3 to -4 decibels. What this does is clever. You are not making the music quieter overall, you are just gently nudging out the exact frequencies where your voice naturally wants to shine. The music keeps all of its punch and vibe, but a clear, open highway is suddenly wide open for your vocals. Let's pause right here for a second. Take a listen to how the music sounds raw and slashing. But Photoshop handles your photos and Illustrator creates your graphics, InDesign is the heavyweight champion for organizing multi-page documents. Whether you are laying out a massive portfolio, a print book, or a quick digital PDF, it gives you absolute pixel-perfect control over your typography and grids. And now hear it with Parametric EQ, carving out that mid-range space. But Photoshop handles your photos and Illustrator creates your graphics, InDesign is the heavyweight champion for organizing multi-page documents. Whether you are laying out a massive portfolio, a print book, or a quick digital PDF, it gives you absolute pixel-perfect control over your typography and grids. If you want to stop guessing your designs and start building professional layouts, hit subscribe because a full step-by-step masterclass is dropping soon. Notice how the frequencies open up. Step number 2. Clearing the sub-bass in your voiceover. Next up, let us look at my voice. Microphones often pick up a lot of heavy, muddy low-end rumbles, especially if your mic is sitting on a desk or you have a deeper voice. That low-end rumble takes up massive amounts of headroom and crashes right into the bass of your music. Drop another parametric equalizer onto your voiceover audio track. Hit Edit in the Effects control to open up the editor. Switch one of the nodes to a high-pass filter, HPF, and slide the cutoff frequency to around 80 Hz to 100 Hz. Instantly, all that muddy, boxy air disappears. Your voice immediately sounds cleaner, tighter, and way more professional, and it stops mudding up the low end of your background track. Take a quick pause here. Listen to your voiceover completely dry with that boxy rumble. But Photoshop handles your photos and Illustrator creates your graphics, InDesign is the heavyweight champion for organizing multi-page documents. Whether you are laying out a massive portfolio, a print book, or a quick digital PDF. And now, flip the EQ on to hear how clean and tight it gets instantly. It gives you absolute pixel-perfect control over your typography and grids. If you want to stop guessing your designs and start building professional layouts, hit subscribe because a full step-by-step masterclass is dropping soon. Step number 3. The Mastering Magic Touch. Now comes the secret weapon that ties the whole mix together. Go back to the Effects panel and search for the Mastering effect. Drag the Mastering effect onto your voiceover track. Open up the settings and look at the presets drop-down. Choose the Subtle Clarity preset. This preset is an absolute game changer. It gently compresses and brightens your vocal track, adding a rich warmth and bringing those mid-range vocal frequencies right forward, without making you sound robotic or overprocessed. It gives your voice that polished, radio-ready finish that instantly grabs attention and refuses to let go. Let's pause right here so you can hear the difference. Here's the vocal without the mastering effect. Page documents. Whether you are laying out a massive portfolio, a print book, or a quick digital PDF, it gives you absolute pixel-perfect control over your typography and grid. A bit flat and distant, and here it is, with the Mastering Subtle Clarity preset applied. But Photoshop handles your photos and Illustrator creates your graphics, InDesign is the heavyweight champion for organizing multi-page documents. Whether you are laying out a massive portfolio, a print book, or a quick digital PDF, it gives you absolute pixel-perfect control over your typography and grids. If you want to stop guessing your designs and start building professional layouts, hit subscribe because a full step-by-step masterclass is dropping soon. Hear how present and alive it feels. Quick note while you are deep in the edit. If you ever get tired of waiting around for your timeline effects and heavy sequences to process, I actually put together a complete guide on how to render your timeline fast in Premiere Pro. If you want to speed up your workflow, definitely check it out. The link is in the card on top of this video and right down in the description. Step number 4. Compressor. Now, Let's talk about dynamic balance. Sometimes your voice works well with the music, but the delivery is uneven. Some words peak too high, while others drop too low. To fix that imbalance, we use a single band compressor. Head over to the effects panel, search for Compressor, and drag and drop the single band compressor right onto your vocal track. Click Edit to open the custom editor. I'm not a huge fan of pre-made presets, so let's adjust it manually. Here's what the settings do. Threshold, the decibel level where the compressor starts clapping down on your loud peaks. Ratio, how aggressively the compressor squashes those peaks once they cross your threshold. Attack, how fast the compressor reacts the moment your voice hits that threshold. Release, how quickly the compressor lets go of the audio after your voice drops back down. Output gain, your makeup gain to boost the overall volume back up after compression. The two most important functions to focus on here are the threshold and output gain. Let's zoom in into the timeline audio and judge the peaks. Say the lowest quiet words sit around -12 decibels and the loudest peaks hit -4 decibels. So let's set the threshold right in the middle at -8 decibels. Absolute pixel perfect control over your typography and grids. If you want to stop. Now, when you play the audio back, your dynamic range is controlled, but the overall vocal volume sounds a bit quiet. We can easily bring it back up by increasing the output gain. I will bump the gain up by about 3 decibels until the vocals sit right on top of the mix, and that is why a compressor is your best friend for smooth dialogue. It gives you absolute pixel perfect control over your typography and grids. If you want to stop guessing your designs and start building professional layouts, hit subscribe because a full step-by-step masterclass is dropping soon. Step number 5. Hard limiter. Before we cross the finish line, we need to make sure our audio peaks are completely under control and won't clip or distort on any phone, laptop or home theater setup. Search for the hard limiter effect in the effects panel. Drop the hard limiter onto both your voiceover track and your music track. Open the settings and set the maximum amplitude hard limit to -6 decibels. By keeping both tracks at -6 decibels, you ensure your audio has plenty of safe headroom, the tracks will not clash, they will not distort, and the combined output will sound balanced, warm, and exceptionally clear. While Photoshop handles your photos and Illustrator creates your graphics, InDesign is the heavyweight champion for organizing multi-page documents. Whether you are laying out a massive portfolio, a print book, or a quick digital PDF, it gives you absolute pixel perfect control over your typography and grids. Step number 6. Manual ducking. Even with great EQ and limiting, every now and then, a track might have a sudden dynamic explosion or a massive drum drop that fights your voice. If that ever happens, use the pen tool in your timeline to click and add keyframe points on your music track's volume line. Gently dip the volume down by just 1 or 2 decibels, right during those loud moments. Bring it right back up the second you stop talking. It takes just a few seconds, but it gives you a total control over the emotional flow of your video. Take a breath, listen back to your timeline, and just hear how clean and alive everything feels. Your voice sounds warm and present. The music is right there, backing you up like a loyal friend, and nothing is fighting for space. If this tutorial helped you find that crisp, beautiful sound you have been looking for, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Leave a like, drop your thoughts and any questions in the comments below, and I will be right there answering them. Keep creating, keep experimenting, and I will see you in the next one.